What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Conversation Piece, your place to discover the hidden stories of Indianapolis. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I'm your host, and this is The Open Door, a monthly series where we literally open the studio door and sit down with community members from across the city to talk about whatever is on their hearts. If you want to learn more or you're interested in participating, head to conversationpiecepod.com and click on the open door in the top bar here. And just last but not least, shout out to Life in Indy for sponsoring this series. I'm having a great time already. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. My guest today is back technically for a second time. I'd love to welcome Parish Butler to the show. Parish, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Patrick, man, on the show once again. I had a topic that was on my heart, man, and I'm a music lover.
Let's get into it.
I'm a self-proclaimed music connoisseur, if you will, man.
Okay.
And honestly, it's been a part of my life for all of my life.
Yeah.
And there's just certain core memories that I have to certain songs and albums, man. And, I feel like we don't even value music the same since streaming. I remember having my Walkman going to school, and I had one album. Only had one album to sit with for the whole day, and you really learn that album from front to back. But now we consume it so fast that sometimes I feel like it loses its value.
100%.
Yeah,
this is something I think we've talked about on the show before. Specifically think about our conversation with Jake Moran, Jake with the Shot, where he talked about we've lost the art of consumption, where we don't really consume like music specifically. Yeah. We are more like voyeurs, where we are just like, it's transactional in a way. Yeah. Like we want it for ourselves, and we lose the privilege of being able to hear something like that, but also like the intentionality behind the creation of said product.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit, and you talked about like music has been something that's been part of your experience since you were a kid growing up. What was your family listening to? What were you listening to growing up?
So like my earliest memories of music, specifically R&B music, was like maybe like when I was about 3 or 4. I remember my mom playing the Mary J. Blige My Life album, and I'm a little kid, so I don't know what she's talking about.
Sure,
but I can feel that she was going through something. I felt the passion, I felt the pain of whatever she was going through, and I could almost kind of read that my mom was feeling like a connection but front to the music, herself. So it started with that, and then it became like, having BET and having MTV and watching TRL and, seeing music videos for the first time and stuff. And it just kind of took off from there for me.
Yeah. And like you had the Walkman and you were going into and you to school, vibing out with like, I like this idea because I grew up with like the CD player with the one album thing, and I feel like I really resonate with what you're talking about. You have to sit with that same thing, and your list. You learn an album front to back, but it's not just the album and the lyrics; it's the instrumentation. It is like the time signature. It is like every little nuanced bit. And as a kid, you might not know that's what you're picking up on, but like when you are just constantly consuming in that way, you can't help but I think develop an appreciation for something like that. Do you remember when you first realized that you appreciated music in the way that you are talking about it right now? Like maybe you weren't the connoisseur yet, but when you realized like, oh shit, like I love this, like in a way that I don't love other things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I would say, okay, I'll give you a specific moment. I remember this is around like Limewire, Kaza era. So at this point, I'm having mixed CDs. You get about...
First off, shout out the Kaza drop. Like I heard nobody mention that
I'm
in a long
Limewire
time.
baby, right?
Bro, Limewire, Kaza, yeah. Yep.
So I remember being in the 8th grade. This is like 2003. I have a mix CD. I have Through the Wire.
Yep.
Kanye West, Through the Wire, had just got on to Limewire, and this is probably 6 months before the album drops.
Okay.
And like I had never heard like the sampling and like that sound. That was my first time really hearing that sound. That's when I got that feeling, and like I remember letting my friends hear it and stuff, and they like, man, what is this? Like because you could feel it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was Shaka Khan being sampled in the background. I just know how it felt and what he was saying over the beats, talking about the accident.
Yeah.
That's when I knew. I'm like, yeah, this is something that I love.
I love that. That's I think for a lot of people like a pivotal, like generational album. That song in particular, that music video in particular, I feel like is so evocative of a particular era.
Right.
And I think it was the beginning of like a musical renaissance, particularly from hip hop. But I think this is around the time like when pop really started to come out. And I think Kanye was a fusion of that, like that early Kanye.
Yeah.
And I have vivid memories of just having that video on loop. Early YouTube, bro. I used to listen to a band called Envy on the Coast, sort of like an alternative rock band. But early YouTube, they had a cover of like it's called These Words, like it's Natasha Bedingfield. These words are my own. A cover, and like this band was pretty popular off of the East Coast, but this video had maybe 1,000 views on it back in like 2007, and I think my friend and I were 600 of them. And so, but it's like, that's what I'm thinking of when I think about, you're talking about being passionate about music and like appreciating it in a way that we kind of don't have anymore. Was just this, music was more than just like a sound or just like a backing track to something. It was an escape to get out of whatever it was that I was going through at the time or whatever the case might have been. What other forms did music take for you that were just beyond sonics?
You know what? What I tell people, what I talk to my friends about is like, you know what? Music, it's a form of time travel because you can take a song, you can remember a song and remember exactly where you were. It's also kind of like a medicine for me because there's a song for every mood. There's a verse for almost any situation. So it's all about like just diving deep and just, finding what's for you, finding what genre is for you, what artist is for you. There's something for everybody. Yeah. I kind of forgot your question, but man, like, using it in a medicinal way for me, man, it's gotten me through some tough times. Like just, in the last maybe 5 years, it's gotten me through. It's been a form of therapy, man.
Yeah, you said you have like albums and things tied to specific moments in your life. And I mentioned in the last 5 years, anything in particular, or any particular album or song or artist that has had an outsized impact on your life?
It's kind of random. I'm just gonna go whatever's on top of my mind. So Justin Timberlake, Until the End of Time, that was my high school song.
Okay.
Class of 2007. What else? I heard D'Angelo Brown Sugar album. Randomly, this is like 1995, 96. My dad took me to a White Sox game. I'm from up north. Yeah. And he was playing that album. And that's another album where the vibe felt cool. I didn't know what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what Brown Sugar was yet. I'm 36 now. Like I understand it now. And that's the fun thing too, being able to re-listen to stuff. Yeah. When you've grown and you actually have been through the situations. So that album, whenever I want to feel like a sense of reassurance, I listen to Brandy, Best Friend. Okay. Yep. Go search that up. What else do I love the Gap Band. I love Charlie Wilson. So, you know what I'm saying? If I want to feel good, I listen to Outstanding. Almost anything with Early in the Morning. You know what I'm saying? They sung about things that men were going through, but over a funk track. So it made you want to dance, but, you know what I'm saying, your lady might have left you. So, it's just that type of stuff. Yeah. And I can go on and on. Like right now, like Leon Thomas, Mud, kind of put me in a place. It's also songs that I just can't listen to because I get emotional instantly.
Bro, I got them too.
Stevie Wonder, These Three Words is one of those for me. Like it just made me think about my family and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
it's wild that stuff can have that resonance like that. I have a song by one of my favorite artists. His name is Anthony Green. But my grandfather passed away March 8th, 2012, which is my birthday. But I had seen him early in the morning, and I went to Lafayette, where I was at school. And like an hour later, I got a call from my mom that he had passed away. And the song that I'm referring to, it's hilarious because I cannot even think of the fucking name of the song right now. But I listened to that song on repeat at like 100 volume, driving 90 from Lafayette back to the town where I grew up, where Grandpa was. And now I can't even listen to the song without instantly feeling an overwhelming sense of grief.
You know another song that does that for me, Eminem, Mockingbird.
Okay.
Like if you have a daughter, that song is like, it touches me.
Yeah.
I can't listen to it all the time. I can recite it, but I don't even go to it because it put me in a place. See, some songs put you in a place where it's like, I can't, I've grown from that, or I've healed from that.
Right, exactly. So, but that's like what you're talking about. You hear a song when you're 5, you come back to it now at 30 when you've experienced kind of what the song is talking about, and you look at it through different eyes. Similarly, when a song hits you, or is tied to such a deep, intimate moment in your life, like you kind of can't help but get put back in that place. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm now teetering on this vulnerable seesaw of like emotion right now. Maybe I just need to like step off the gas a little bit, like that's the beauty of music, I think. And that's why people fall in love with it. That's why people that I think from our era, I'm 35, who did not have such open access to music. Here's the thing. I grew up, my best friend, I love him to death. Because I used to sing every single song that came out because I just loved music. He did not care for me to be singing all these songs. So he would withhold bands, like new bands from me before stuff would come out. And I would have to go to his house and steal them off the computer. I was burning like hard CDs, he had a CD burner. Yeah. But it's just like, it's like, you brought up earlier, that is something I don't know that exists anymore. Like this kind of craving, like this insatiable hunger for something like that, particularly with music, especially in the advent of streaming, because it's all accessible now. Like even you start rapping yesterday, like you were accessible to every single person on the internet. Like,
and like back then, when you downloaded a song off of Kaz or Limewire, it might have took you all night just to get those few little songs. It may take hours. On dial-up.
We ain't got the broadband, the bandwidth to get the whole album.
Right, or the download might cancel in the middle of it.
Or you're downloading an album and the person that uploaded it in reverse order, or with the tracks, like the numbers on it, the numbers are now out of order. Like, so you might be listening to an album for a year in the out of order.
Oh, right.
Until you buy the actual album. You're like, wait a minute.
You might have bought it from the gas station.
Bro, 100%. Okay, so I guess I brought that up because for you, like as a music lover, as a music connoisseur, somebody who's like, this is something that's really close to you and means a lot to you. What do you think is? So I talked about like over accessibility. What do you think the biggest issue is right now with like streaming and our consumption of music? Like an average fan consumption of music. What do you think? Maybe not an issue, but what do you think the disconnect is from what we grew up, how we grew up loving music to like how people are approaching it now?
It's the volume of music that comes out and the curation. I feel like the curation could be better. It shouldn't be based on like what label you're with. The people that work at these streaming companies, they need to really dig in and find what's good and and kind of organize it in a way. And it's getting there.
Yeah,
it's getting there. Like it's been like 10 years since Apple Music and streaming.
Yeah,
but I feel like the aggregation and the algorithms and what pops up on your homepage, it needs to continue to be more personalized to the listener.
Yeah, I actually love that because I feel like I was just on my like For You stuff earlier on Apple Music, and I'm like, do I even like any of this? I'm like, none of this is for me, I don't think.
Well, sometimes they're trying to put you on, which I appreciate that, the discovery playlist and stuff like that. But as far as it like kind of intuitively, like taking your history and then basing it, you know, based on what you hear next on that, I want to see that improve.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to get in these U2 situations where they're just putting albums on phones. The albums that I didn't ask for. I don't care if I have a subscription to Apple Music and it's free. I didn't want that. I don't
even have any more memory on my phone, so you can't even get the album on there if you wanted to. So
exactly. Okay, I appreciate you coming here, just chat about music and your love for music. I want to ask you something non-musically related.
Sure.
Which is like, are you family from here, from Indy?
No, so I grew up in Gary, Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Northwest Indiana.
219. Shout out the region.
219.
How long have you been in Indianapolis?
10 years.
10 years. Okay, so you got a grip here. Like you've been here. So I think that's been enough time to kind of feel out what that means to you. So for you, Parish Butler, how do you define Indianapolis?
Indianapolis. I mean, we started off talking about my career path brought me to Indianapolis, right? So coming out of college, looking for an opportunity, Indianapolis is a city that gave me an opportunity, you know, on a corporate level initially. And I would always visit here when I was growing up, but I never really fully immersed myself in the city until I got here in 2015. And what Indianapolis to me is a launching pad. It's a foundation for me and my children. You know, I'm raising my family here, I'm raising my children here. So this is my new home.
I appreciate you sharing that. I love that. To that end, and to kind of tie this all together as we get ready to wrap up here, because I feel like I could probably sit here and talk to you for about 3 hours about all this. We've had a lot of artists on this, hip-hop artists specifically on the show. And I feel like since we started doing the Indianapolis focus, like I've been exposed to like a really vibrant hip-hop scene here, which I love.
Sure.
And there's like a lot of talent here, not just in hip-hop, but just like in music in general, that I don't know that a lot of people are aware of. And so as somebody who's now got a decade here, who's got a foundation here and who's building here, but also as somebody who just loves music, like what is your perspective on the scene here? It doesn't have to be hip hop specifically, but just music in general in Indianapolis.
Oh, the scene here? Oh, I love the scene here. Like you can always catch me at a festival. You can catch me at Trees. You know, we met at Butter.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I'm always paying attention to the local scene, whether it's music, whether it's content creators like yourself, podcasters. I'm always tuning in. I'm always in the inboxes. You know, shout out Nori the GOAT. That's know somebody I know personally. Paris Ladam. You know, there's a what is it? Clint in the Breeze.
Clint Breezy.
Clint Breeze, you know, these are people that, you know, that I've seen live. They, the scene here is great. I love the art scene here.
Yeah.
You know, it was a time when I was looking for a community, for a creative community, and I didn't necessarily have it where I was at previously. And I came here and I found that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always paying attention to who's next, you know, who has something going on. I'm always tapped in.
I love it. Anybody in particular that we need to be paying attention to right now that you got your eye
on? I think you got to pay attention to Nori. He makes very catchy songs, and he just has a one-of-a-kind personality. I'm going to leave you with that one.
Okay, bet. All right. All right, well, now I got to do one more follow-up. Nori song that we should be bumping first. Like if we're walking out of here and I'm looking it up on Apple Music.
I know he has a new song getting ready to drop, but he has a song that I love called Better Days.
Okay.
And it samples Erykah Badu. I believe it's Bag Lady.
Okay.
Better Days, Nori the GOAT.
Better Days, Nori the GOAT. We're going to link that song here in the show notes. Shout out Erykah Badu, who's got a new album just announced with all produced by The Alchemist. That sounds like it's about to be some fire.
Yes.
Also headlining Dreamville Festival, I believe, on the last day. Just popping off in the world.
And speaking of Alchemist, that Life is Beautiful album with Ray June and 2 Chainz, that's like a soundtrack of my life 2025.
Okay, everybody is bumping that album right now. I need to get on it. I've been slow to the game. So, Parish, I appreciate you coming through here and chatting about music and bringing up incredible memories for me that I hadn't really thought about in a while. For folks that are watching or listening right now, as we get ready to exit out of here, for you, I know you're an artist. I know you create in the city. What is the best way to follow you, find you, and support you going forward?
All right. Well, yeah, it's very easy. Parish Butler on everything: Facebook, Instagram, X. I give a little bit different side of myself on each platform, so feel free to follow me on anything on there. I'm always sharing music. I'm sharing what I'm doing almost every day. So, yep, Parish Butler. Also, I'm working on a content series myself called Well Versed, where we have conversations like these about music, memories tied to it, about how music is so much a part of the fabric of our lives. So,
can't
Parish
wait
Butler,
to tap into that.
Well Versed this summer.
Okay, this summer. You heard it here first. Maybe second. I don't know when we're hearing it, but we're hearing it here right now.
Yes.
We're going to link all of that in the show notes. So if you want to get the full story of Parish Butler, you got to follow him on all those platforms. A little bit different in each place. Parish, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
100%. Everybody else, ConversationPiecePod.com for all things Conversation Piece. Shout out to Life in Indie for sponsoring the Open Door. And until next time, I've been Patrick Armstrong, and this has been Conversation Piece. See y'all soon.